Hi, I'm Ashura, and welcome back to Undermine. Today we are getting into the third storyline in the main Undermine campaign, uncovering the truth. So the story so far. Gallywix has somehow wormed his way back into Goblin society and taken over Undermine, the Goblin capital city. He is now overboss of all 4 Goblin cartels: the Steamweedle cartel, which is ruled by Maranoganfogger, the Bilgewater cartel, which is ruled by Gazlowe, the Blackwater cartel, formerly the Blackwater Raiders, which is ruled by Rivelgaz, and the Venture Company, which doesn't technically have a leader, but is sort of maybe semi-spearheaded by Grimla Fizzlecrank here. And more than that, Gallywix also seems to be running a nefarious operation on the down low with the black blood of the old gods. So Orwena, the Heronir, has also joined us to put an end to that and get rid of the black blood once and for all. Now, trying to unravel this mystery and figure out exactly what Gallywix is doing with the black blood, we've come to find that both Rivelgaz and Maranoganfogger seem to be working for him, which sort of shocks Gazlowe because that seems a little bit counter to their character. In the last storyline, we helped Rivelgaz out a little bit, and he told us where Gallywix's black blood was being shipped to and where it's being held. But on the way back, we got surprise attacked by an ethereal, and we're gonna find out in the next couple storylines what's up with the ethereals, why they're here, and how they're involved in this plot. But at this exact moment in time, we don't know what's up with that. They've just popped up. But Gallywix's operations seem to be against the ethereals, because we did run into some anti-ethereal personnel bots. So for right now, it seems like they're not on the same side, but we do know from previous questlines in Dragonflight that the Shadow Guard group of ethereals are aligned with Xal'atath. The mystery truly deepens. So at this point where we're at in the story, we have recently found out that Maranoganfogger is also working on the black blood for Gallywix, and we are now going to investigate exactly what's up with that and give Noggenfogger a little bit of a talking to. So, let's get right to it.
You're talking to the goblin in charge.
First there was just black blood, now ethereals? I don't know how all this squares, but we need help if we want to find out. Orwena left to get Alleria a while ago. We should head over to Slam Central Station to see if they've made it down here yet.
Get out there and get to it. Black blood. Ethereals. Alleria's gonna have a field day with all this.
Again? Are you serious?
How you doing, pal? Rules are rules. No one gets in with dangerous goods.
I'm just doing my job. The safety of Undermine is a #1 priority, or something like that. Can you let her through, please?
See you around.
You know, no one's ever been polite to me like that. Go ahead.
Yeah?
Rules are rules, buddy. Visitors can bring in weapons and mid-grade explosives, but anything that magical needs paperwork submitted in advance. We're gonna have to collect a premium fee if you want that paperwork expedited. She's an ally of a trade prince, you know.
Time's a wasting.
Yeah, that's what they all... Oh, you're serious. That's trouble I don't need.
How you doing, pal?
If she ain't got a permit for that weapon, she ain't getting in. That's the policy. Although, maybe for the right tip, that policy could change. Sigh and hand over the gold.
Time's a wasting.
I'm suddenly feeling very convinced. Have a good one.
All right.
The elf's gotta put the bow in the box. We gotta check if it's a dangerous weapon. We're in Undermine. Everyone has dangerous weapons.
I got it.
You admitted you got a dangerous weapon.
Black blood, new weapons, secret projects, and now ethereals. What's the holdup?
Now the
Yes.
Alleria.
That sounds like you are on the right trail.
Now that Alleria's here, let's get to the bottom of this business. Starting with Noggenfogger.
All parts accounted for.
I don't like thinking that Noggenfogger's part of this, but the only way we'll know is if we go and talk to him. Steamweedle's headquarters is probably a good place to start looking for him. We'll give him a chance to explain himself. If it's a misunderstanding, or he's just gotten himself into trouble, I need to know.
Do us proud. Noggenfogger's one of the good guys. There has to be a reason he's in on this.
I'll trust you know where his loyalties lie. Let's go. Stationed lab guard glares at you, but remains at their post.
Gazlowe! Great to see you, huh? All the way down in Undermine. Why are you here?
You know why.
Have I got a potion for you?
So nice of you to visit me for unsuspicious and totally legitimate purposes. He nervously eyes the dark fuse guard standing nearby. What do you know about black blood?
I can't talk. They'll know.
That, you're visiting me on my birthday!
What now?
Gazlowe lowers his voice. They got this place crawling with dark fuse. Noggenfogger's being watched closely.
Oh, it's lonely at the top.
It really is great to see you on Gazlowe. I was just thinking about how much I wanted to see you both on my birthday. A day when I'm under no forms of duress or coercion whatsoever. None at all. Cautiously, he glances at the dark fuse guards, then whispers to you. I'll tell you whatever I can if you get rid of them. He nods subtly towards his alchemy station.
Whoa, maybe your dark fuse friends would like some drinks.
I
Semi-deluxe
got just the thing.
Noggenfogger elixirs.
Grab 'em off the table and pass 'em around.
Not quite as potent as it could be, but still packs a punch.
Okay, what's going on?
Check Venture's kaja'mite mines. You'll find answers there.
Bilgewater on duty.
I'll keep an eye on Noggenfogger. You get it done.
Bilgewater is on the job.
Venture and kaja'mite. 2 more puzzle pieces. Let's hope they all fit together eventually.
Yep, looks like we've got work to do.
Venture doesn't exactly have a history of being an upstanding cartel. Their loyalties can be bought cheap, and they don't got qualms about means justifying ends. We knew they was working with Gallywix, we just didn't know how deep they were in with them. Let's go check out those kaja'mite supply lines. No time to lose.
Oh, it's lonely at the top. Marin, will you be safe here?
I'll stay hidden and make sure of it.
Oh, and happy birthday. Baron Noggenfogger glares at Renzik and shoos him away.
This place is lousy with dark views.
You got a problem? I got
Lots of
solutions.
dark fuse. But less than they had back at Steamweedle. Probably because Venture's more compliant.
Get out there and get to it.
If there's one thing Venture does keep in order, it's the paperwork. They're real particular with dividing the workforce and keeping everything on schedule. They're efficient, I'll give them that. Up ahead is one of their scrap yards. They should have schedules posted around the place for Venture employees to record their hours worked and see what they got coming up. Grab as many as you can find. We'll check out Venture's headquarters in the meantime.
Yep, looks like we've got work to do.
Venture Co. has a pretty bad track record, but not everyone working for the cartel is bad news. Some of us are trying to make ends meet. Maybe we can talk sense into some of them. Less venture workers means less people doing Gallywix's dirty work. Venture Co. employs a lot of non-goblins, so no one will question you being around as long as you've got a uniform on. I've got a spare that will probably, mostly, sort of fit you. See if you can get him to quit. If they start a fight, do what you gotta do.
Don't break anything I wouldn't. Toss on this venture uniform so they think you're an employee. Maybe you can talk some of them into quitting.
There's a lesson here. Gallywix don't have friends. Just enemies he ain't turned on yet.
Be good.
And grab the schedules posted around. We need to know where the workers are going and where the kaja'mite is coming from.
Reminder to venture employees. You skim anything off the top of those kaja'mite shipments, and I'm skimming your head off your shoulders.
An extensive list of hours and assignments for venture employees. A memo from Gallywix is stapled to the bottom.
Another reminder. You lose your punch card for the Kaja Coast, and getting fired will be the least of your worries. One last reminder. You want one of the new weapons? You better be working late. You better be working holidays. Ha! Slackers ain't getting promotions.
The foreman's guarding the office. His weapons look off. You know anything about him?
Like anyone would tell me.
We get things done.
They should have schedules posted all over the place. Hopefully this isn't a wild flamingo chase.
Nice chat. Now get a move on.
Gazlowe reads over the schedules quickly, his expression souring. Well, good news is Noggenfogger wasn't lying. Bad news is, this is a lot of names. All getting sent to the Kaja Coast in Zandalari.
Bilgewater is on the job.
That'll do. Even one fewer goblin working for Gallywix is a win in my book.
Where you off to?
If you gotta get to a confidential work site like the Kaja Coast, you gotta check out a punch card from Chrome's office up here. Lead Foreman Chrome is one of the big bosses who organizes how Venture's workforce gets split up. Should be easy enough for Forensic to slip in and grab the punch card, but you'll need to take care of Chrome and his guard dog. If we're getting to the Kaja Coast, let's do it without becoming chew toys first, yeah? We need to buy Forensic time to steal the Kaja Coast punch card from Venture's headquarters.
See you around. We need the foreman's punch card to get to the Kaja Coast.
I can't sneak past this hyena. You'll have to deal with him.
I got some new puppies to try out, and I don't mean the hyena.
Found the punch card. Grab his weapon. I want to look. Leaking something dark and viscous. Is that black blood?
Black blood weapons? Oh, Gallywix is low, but this is just disgusting. What needs fixing?
You clear the way for Forensic to get the punch card yet?
Do us proud.
Gazlowe grimaces as he inspects the foreman's weapon. The battery in this thing is powered by black blood. Don't know how they managed to do that without the thing exploding or worse. But this situation just got a whole lot more dangerous.
All parts accounted for.
Alright, we got the punch card to the Kaja Coast and a pretty good reason to believe Venture's schmoozing up the Gallywix a lot more than we thought. Noggenfogger said we'd find answers at those mines. And that means going down to the Kaja Coast for a look. Let's go. We'll meet you over at Slam Central.
Bilgewater is on the job. Gallywix arms Venture to the teeth. They bring him loads of kaja'mite from Zandalari, and we got no idea why.
Only one way to find out.
You check the mines. I'll stay here and keep this quiet.
Hey, this one.
Yeah?
He looks you over appraisingly, then crosses his arms. You don't look like you got business being on this drill. Show me a punch card or stop wasting my time. Where does this drill go? Nowhere remotely close to being your business. Now scram. Alright, take my punch card.
Keep cool out there.
You got a problem?
Hey, you're not supposed to be here.
I got this.
The bot's got eyes on us. Watch out! What's the holdup?
Dark Fuse is watching this place. Hiding something here. Something big.
All parts accounted for.
Gallywix ain't an idiot. He's got those surveillance boards keeping an eye on this entire area. We're gonna need to bring him offline if we want to keep a low profile. And by that, I mean smash him to itty-bitty pieces. If you need help grabbing him out of the air, use this auto-grappler. Oh, and scoop some of the pods up for me when you're done. I've got an idea.
Get out there and get to it.
Hey, how you doing?
There are too many Dark Fuse guarding the place for us to sneak around him. We're gonna have to thin him out the old-fashioned way. Take out as many Dark Fuse as you can. Me and Gazlowe will do some reconnaissance.
Keep it real.
You handle the security and the void cameras. Renzik and me will scout ahead. Looks like these are alarm bots, but they only signal a guard if one's close by. You're talking to the goblin in charge.
Not sure why they're watching a mine this closely, but we need to make sure they got less eyes on it.
Well, looks like we've got work to do.
Got this bird mostly gutted. Between the two of us, we should be able to break these pods down and use them to make some new internals.
Oh, it's lonely at the top.
It'll do for now. At least we've got some space to figure out a plan.
Have a good one.
I took a quick look inside that mine up ahead while you were gone. Looks like they've got Venture Co. mining out all the kaja'mite and bringing it down to the beach. It's getting packaged up down there, but I couldn't tell where it was going afterward. We need to cut off the supply at the origin. Deal with the supervisors in the mine, and I'm willing to bet the workers will have enough sense to run afterward.
Be good.
What now?
When I left the Bilgewater cartel in charge of the kaja'mite mining in Zaldazar, it was clean and safe. Well, cleaner and safer. We made a lot of deals with the Zandalari to secure that. So not only is Gallywix stepping on our territory, but he's threatening the respect and trust we earned by letting Venture make a mess of this operation. Blow up the kaja'mite stockpiles you find in that mine. I don't want any dishonest kaja'mite going anywhere, no matter who's buying or selling.
Kaja'mite? Black blood? There's gotta be a connection here. Bilgewater on duty.
Gallywix isn't making Kaja Cola, that's for sure.
It's good to finally get out of there. He must know something about Kaja'mite that we don't. Really? You gotta ask? Every day, what I earned got stole. What I built got broke. In Undermine, every good idea was just chum in the water. Every bad goblin crawled out of the woodwork, and the bad guys would always win. I couldn't live like that. I had to get out. You left too.
Yeah, the bad guys always won.
Got tired of the boot on your neck?
I got tired of being the boot. So I literally right before this did the Goblin Heritage questline because I have never done it. I'm gonna turn it into a separate story playthrough.
We get things done.
And it's not something that I think you need to have done to understand what's going on here, but I feel like what really stuck with me while doing it was thinking about Gazlowe's opinions toward Gallywix and Undermine in this questline. The whole, like, the bad guys always win, that he just feels so defeated. And I think, so, in the Goblin Heritage quest, Gallywix goes back to Kazan and takes over Crapopolis, which is essentially the motherlode part of Kazan. It's separate from the part of Kazan that we go through in the Goblin starting zone. And the Goblin Heritage quest takes place, I think, at the end of BFA, so it follows technically after the events of the Motherlode dungeon, and then after the events of the Battle for Dazar'alor with the fight between Gallywix and Mechatork. And in the Goblin Heritage quest, you basically are able to get rid of Gallywix, right? That you're able to remove him from his control over Kazan and Crapopolis. But then Undermine happens, and he comes back in and somehow again installs himself as leader and dark overlord of all of the goblin going-ons. And so I think I get Gazlowe's jadedness, how cynical he is, more, I think, because it is sort of like, okay, how many times do we have to deal with Gallywix? Like, we dealt with him sort of in the Goblin starting zone? Not really. We dealt with him in BFA multiple times, including the Goblin Heritage armor, and he just comes back like he's a cockroach. But I think it's especially the fact that he is like the suckiest, worst kind of goblin, and still can somehow keep coming back and keep being in charge of Goblin Society and manipulating them, that has Gazlowe sitting here like, how am I ever gonna make a difference? Like, he just keeps coming back, and he is the worst of the worst, and we keep letting him do this to us. And I think before this, I had just sort of assumed that was part of his background, that, like, I didn't know specifics of. I'm not that familiar with Gazlowe's history, but I'm actually really grateful that I played through the Goblin Heritage questline to better understand where that sentiment comes from regarding his disillusionment toward Gallywix, but also, to some extent, toward Undermine. Also, you know, not that largely relevant, but it just occurred to me after playing through this for the second time that, Gazlowe said that they had set up deals with the Zandalari to mine the kaja'mite here, which, if you know anything about goblin lore, is actually really fascinating, because the Zandalari, some thousands of years ago, up until like 140 years ago, had actively oppressed the goblins on Kazan and enslaved them and forced them to mine in kaja'mite mines on Kazan, not on Zuldazar or Zandalar. And this is where some of my ignorance is showing, because I don't know how much of that has potentially been covered in content since, like, with regards to, oh, the Bilgewater and the Zandalari are now both members of the Horde. Have they revisited their very awkward past? But I like that this, at least, sort of goes to show that they are now on pretty good terms. Actually, some original Undermine lore, like the lore in the RPG, talks about how they had, once the goblins had overthrown their Zandalari oppressors, that they had then enslaved some of the Zandalari on Kazan, and that there were slave pens in Undermine. And I honestly did not seriously think we were going to get slave pens in Undermine, but I like that we got an answer to that insofar as, okay, there aren't slave pens, but more than that, the relationship between the Zandalari and the goblins have been repaired, so to speak, or at least is cordial now. And to add a little bit to this, there's a World Soul memory in Undermine that takes place during that period of oppression, and there's actually a rare named Taskmaster Zendu, who's like the one Zandalari rare that walks around through all of the goblin miners and stuff, and I thought that was a really cool reference, because I got a bit into all that lore. Oh, that's a lot of mobs. Okay. Got a bit into that lore while doing my Undermine video. My OG history of Undermine video. Crumpled pay stub. On the corpse of the Venture Co. employee, you find a crumpled piece of paper stuffed into an envelope. It appears to be a pay stub from a kaja'mite depot in the Venture Co. area of Undermine. Below the full address of the employer, there's a header stamped in red ink. Gallywix's secret kaja'mite warehouse. Internal only. Do not actually print that. A note from Gallywix is poorly taped to the back of the pay stub. have to read the note. Smudged with greasy fingerprints, but you can still make out the employer's address. A note is taped to the back.
Your vacation request is denied. Also, you're fired for asking. Leave your uniform outside the extremely secret kaja'mite warehouse. Then, get out of my city!
Hey, what do you got there? Is that a pay stub?
Time is money, friend.
Good. The fewer Ventrico around who are loyal to Gallywix, the better.
Keep it real.
You're talking to the goblin in charge.
When all this is done, Bilgewater will come back here, clean this up, and do it right.
Do us proud.
Well, that answers that. Ventrico is getting paid by one of Gallywix's secret warehouses back in Undermine. That means he's hoarding all this kaja'mite back there. What could he possibly need that much for?
Get out there and get to it.
It took those parts you collected and hot-wired the components into some new machinery, then stuffed it back into this bot. Now it can be piloted using this remote control. The remote also lets us see and hear anything the bot does. I don't think we're gonna learn what we need to just by killing. We're gonna need to beat Gallywix at his own game and spy on his workers. You wanna do us the honors? I'll talk you through it.
Well, we ain't done yet. This Boyd is gonna let us see what they're up to here.
Give it a kick to start it up. Turning their own machines against them.
I do my best.
Very SI-7 of you.
Grab the remote and I'll walk you through the controls.
This remote will let you fly the bird around. If you see something interesting, you can enhance the view.
One small issue. If the Boyd gets too low on juice, it'll probably blow up. Watch the sensor. When it dips, you'll need to go around and do Boyd stuff. You'll figure it out.
I haven't had a day off in forever. What's the rush on kaja'mite all of a sudden?
Who knows? It's not getting sold anywhere. But Gallywix always has a plan.
So he's using it. That much mining and Gallywix is just hoarding it? Why? Blackwater
We need
transporters.
way more black blood than this. If we was paying you, this would be coming out of your checks. Let's see if you at least brought the good stuff. Stay here.
Oh, that guy in the shredder. I don't like whatever he's up to. Did he say the Dark Heart? This just got way bigger than Undermined.
That's why he needed so much black blood. And the kaja'mite to contain it. The weapons must be a bonus.
So, there's a cinematic there that doesn't currently play. But to give you a little bit of context, considering I finished these quests, you basically find out that Gallywix has come by the Dark Heart. The same Dark Heart that Xal'atath had. And I don't know if you're gonna learn this in the cinematic, but you do definitely learn it next storyline. That Xal'atath brought the Dark Heart to Gallywix to have him repair it after Alleria shot it and broke it. You may remember that in the Dawn of the Infinite Dungeon, when the Dark Heart first popped up, Chromie referred to it as a sort of dragon soul prototype, and the dragon soul was actually created in part by the goblins. And there was this theory, I don't know who first came up with the theory, but there was a theory for a while that the reason we're going to Undermine is because Xal'atath had brought the Dark Heart to the goblins to repair it, and that basically ended up being the case. And what Gazlowe says about that's why you needed so much black blood in the kaja'mite to contain it, is that you will learn more specifically, and I assume this was covered in the cinematic, is that the kaja'mite actually has properties that allow it to stabilize black blood. Literally before this, right, in the quests where they were commenting on the Venture co-workers having black blood weapons, and one of them was like, how do they have those weapons without them blowing up? That's so weird. It's because they figured out how to use kaja'mite to stabilize it. So now they can make a whole arsenal of weapons using the black blood of the old gods. Still sort of a question about, the ethereals, but we'll get there, I think, in probably the next storyline. But regarding the mystery of the black blood and the kaja'mite, that's pretty much what's going on. Gallywix is making black water bring black blood. He's got venture mine and kaja'mite, and he's making steam needle process it all. He's got the big cartels under his heel, and he has the dark heart.
Do us proud.
So Nagenfogger wasn't lying. Dark fused strong-armed steam weedle into figuring out how to make kaja'mite contain black blood. Looks like that's how they've been getting it into weapons without blowing themselves up, or worse. These stakes are higher than I thought, and I get the feeling this goes even deeper. I need to get Nagenfogger somewhere safe. You and Renzik take out that overseer, then meet us back at Steamweedle. Gallywix is importing kaja'mite to Undermine to repair the Dark Heart. Oh yeah, I forgot that too. Not just about stabilizing the black blood, also for the Dark Heart. Killing his overseer should halt the transport.
Nice chat.
Gazlowe, get back to Undermine and tell Alleria what we know. We'll deal with the overseer and catch up.
The warehouse. The hostages. He already knows.
Hostages? We need to get back to Nagenfogger. Come on! Ah, yes. A bunch of ethereals. Hey, what happened here?
We were ambushed by ethereals. Xal'atath's minions, no doubt.
You got a problem?
Damn
I've got
it.
solutions.
Nagenfogger's hurt real bad. First Dark Fuse, now ethereals. What could they possibly want with Steamweedle?
Bilgewater is on the job.
And that's the third storyline. We got 2 more we can play through before that closes out the main Undermine campaign. But we're basically halfway through it now. We are slowly uncovering the mystery, but we still exactly have to figure out what's going on with Xal'atath and the ethereals, which all comes next storyline, and eventually confront Gallywix. So that's all for now. I will pick up with the next storyline in the next video, and thank you for joining me for this one. Oh, I really? Oh no, not the janitor. Yeet! Wait, it's that meme that's like, he's standing right behind me, isn't he? Where'd my skin go? I mean, that's really traditional Nagenfogger elixir, but oh my god. Gallywix and... what's his name? Only 1 gold? What a lowball bribe. Why are they fishing in it? What counts as a dangerous good here? Not just her bow, right? Like, just her. She is the dangerous good. Oh god, not the pipes! Ugh. You're not allowed here. You're not allowed anywhere, Alleria. How does that feel? Also, should I be concerned? Is this the Nagenfogger elixir that we're drinking that person just got vaporized by? Okay. Oh boy.